In the still hours between midnight and dawn, hospitals transform. Places of healing by day become shadowed cathedrals of quiet by night. Machines hum, lights flicker, and sometimes the unexplained happens. Midnight, a hospital corridor. Fluorescent lights buzz above. The floor is still, silent, until a wheelchair begins to move. No footsteps, no one pushing it, just motion, alone, on its own. Was it the wind? A trick of the eye? Or did something unseen guide it? Out of the trauma ward and into a viral legend. What you're about to hear is real, caught on camera, witnessed, unexplained. And it happened inside one of India's most prestigious hospitals. This is no ghost story. This is the haunted wheelchair. And this is never found. Today, we unravel the true story of a modern ghost tale. One captured not by imagination, but by CCTV. The setting? PGI, India's premier medical institute in Chandigarh. The moment? A quiet September night in 2019. The mystery? A wheelchair. Empty, unattended, moving on its own. No footsteps, no hands, no push, just wheels turning. Security guard Manoj Kumar was doing what many do in the night shift, trying to stay alert. It was late. The trauma wing of PGI's new extension lay quiet. Hospitals breathe differently at night. There is an eerie stillness to their corridors, a mix of fluorescent lighting, antiseptic air, and the silence of sleeping patients. He stepped out for a sip of water. Nothing unusual, except something caught his eye. A wheelchair. Still, then not still. It moved. At first, just a slight nudge. Then, slowly, it rolled forward. It wasn't jolted. It wasn't pulled. It simply left its place under the stairwell and began gliding across the smooth hospital floor. Manoj froze. His training had told him to investigate, but his gut, it screamed something else. There was no one there, no breeze, no open window, just the silent chair rolling slowly, like it had a destination in mind. Manoj followed it, not knowing what he might find. What would you do in that moment? Call for a backup? Brush it off as a late night draft? For Manoj, hesitation turned to action. He moved forward, but with each step, the silence got louder. The hallway, though lit, felt darker, narrower. He wasn't just following a wheelchair, he was following a question. And what did Manoj not know then? He did not know that a security camera was watching. The footage, later reviewed by staff, showed exactly what he had seen. A lone wheelchair, moving of its own accord, down a corridor, around a corner, down a ramp, past a pillar, out the door. Not bumping, not swerving, but steering. Manoj, a small figure in the frame, cautiously follows, stops, watches, then gets it back. That video leaked, and within hours, PGI Chandigarh became the setting of a viral sensation. News outlets picked it up, social media fed on it. It was discussed on talk shows, WhatsApp groups, and in hospital cafeterias. One of the most sterile places imaginable, had become the epicenter of a modern ghost story. People across India and beyond watched, rewatched, and whispered, "Did you see that wheelchair move by itself?" Reaction videos flooded YouTube. Paranormal forums exploded with speculation. Some viewers zoomed into the footage frame by frame, hoping to catch a glimpse of a shadow, a flicker, a clue. Others claimed to see a faint outline, a presence, something beside the chair. Maybe wishful thinking, maybe not. Some say it was a breeze, a draft catching unlocked wheels. The hospital agreed. Not a surprise. Wind, they said. Nothing more. But there is more to the story. Manoj said he felt a chill, not a breeze. A sudden, cold presence. For those of you who do not know the weather, situation or status in India, you must know. September nights in Chandigarh aren't that cold. And then there's the way the wheelchair moved. Smooth, as if it had a purpose, it had an intention. It curved slightly, it avoided obstacles. It stayed upright, steady, as it passed through automatic doors and down a gentle slope. Ghost? Poltergeist? Just an empty chair with somewhere to go? Experts weighed in. Physicists explained inertia. Doctors pointed to ventilation. But the more the clip circulated, the more the rational explanations struggled to settle the unease it left behind. One local engineer, curious about the viral footage, visited the hospitals weeks later with permission to examine the hallway. He tested the airflow, he examined the flooring, and even recreated the path with another wheelchair. But nothing moved quite the same way. Nothing replicated the path so precisely. He left, scratching his head, of course. It was either a perfect storm of physics, he said, or something else entirely. Hospitals are not just places of medicine. They are places of last breaths, of unresolved goodbyes. From abandoned asylums in the US to post-war hospitals in Europe, the haunted hospital is a story we hear again and again around the world. Talk about Waverly Hills, or the Royal Hope Hospital, the Aradale Asylum, all steeped in legends of apparitions, whispering halls, and cold spots that seem to follow the staff everywhere. PGI may be modern and thriving, but that does not make it immune to mystery. Among nurses, the CCTV became a morning gossip, and among doctors, a curiosity. Some joked, some avoided the corridor. Some double-checked every wheelchair's brakes. One said, "It looked like someone was guiding it." Another, "I would not do a night duty near that ramp." Me neither. The incident might have been a one-time event, but for several nights after, staff reporting an uneasiness in that wing had become the order of the day. A heaviness in the air, a sense that someone else might be walking the halls, unseen. PGI has since been listed among Chandigarh's supposedly haunted locations. Some reports have surfaced about unexplained noises and ghostly presence, though none as vividly documented as the 2019 incident. One unnamed nurse, speaking off the record, recalled passing that corridor weeks after the event. She did not see anything move, but, she said, it just felt colder, like the hallway did not want me there. Others started referring to that spot as the ramp. Not the east ramp, not the emergency ramp, just the ramp. A place where people walked faster, spoke quieter, looked back. Physics tells us an object in motion stays in motion. Wheelchairs roll, floors slope, air moves. But belief is not built on data alone. It's built on what we feel when we watch that clip. Even now, the footage exists. One camera, one moment, one chair. And a question that lingers: why did it move? Paranormal investigators, ghost story enthusiasts, and skeptics, all of them had their say. But none could replicate the exact motion. None could replicate the mood of that moment. It was too perfect, too eerie, too cinematic. Paranormal researcher and skeptic Arvind Shaker, when shown the clip, said, "It's either one of the cleanest examples of object movement we've seen, or it's a very lucky gust of wind. But the fact that the guard felt a chill at the same time? That's textbook poltergeist behavior." He just stops short of calling it a haunting. "But I wouldn't stand there alone at 2 a.m., he adds with a grin. In the days that followed, the hospital returned to routine. Patients came and went, shifts changed, life continued. But the video? It did not disappear. It became part of the internet folklore, resurfacing every few months. And in PGI's own halls, the story lingers. Veteran staff tell the new hires, "You know about the haunted wheelchair, right?" It's shared with a smile, but also a pause. Because ghost or not, something happened that night. Something that left a mark not just on the floor where the wheelchair rolled, but in the minds of all those who saw it. As of 2025, there have been no new reports of paranormal activity at PGI. The incident stands alone. Neither hospital officials nor the security staff have reported further unexplained occurrences of this nature. As for Manoj Kumar, the security guard who witnessed the event, no new public information has emerged. He continued his work quietly and eventually stepped away from the spotlight. But to this day, some say that if you pass that ramp during the late night shift and the lights flicker just right, you might hear a faint creak, like wheels waiting. PGI moved on. No ghosts reported since. But that wheelchair, that night, it became a story that refuses to sit still. Ghost or not, the chill remains. This was the haunted wheelchair, a true event, a lasting mystery. And just maybe, the next time you pass a parked wheelchair on a quiet night, I'm sure you'll glance back, just to check. So, stay curious, but also stay safe. And remember, some stories are never found. So, as the clock ticks and our show draws to a close, we step back from that Chandigarh corridor and return to the safety of daylight and reason. Yet, the image lingers, an empty wheelchair making its solitary escape in the dark. Ghost or no ghost, it's a story we would not soon forget. If the story gave you chills or made you rethink that quiet hospital corridor, please consider liking, sharing, and subscribing to Never Found. Each story we tell is based on real reports, true footage, and documented accounts. We do not use any fiction, no embellishment. Got a mystery you think we should cover? Drop us a message. We'd love to hear from you. We'll be back soon with another story that haunts, puzzles, and lingers. And remember, someone, somewhere, knows something. Maybe even about this. Until then, keep your eyes open and your mind just a little unsettled. Thanks for listening. This was Never Found.